feeling of friendship. What is friendship? Jesus is saying that right now in the gospel. I have called you friends. Sounds very shocking because in the Old Testament, God was somebody that you couldn't say his name because you need to respect the transcendence, Almighty One. Sometimes he was mentioned like a father, other times like a mother. But a friend, yeah, there's a moment, but a friend seems like too horizontal. Friends are in the same level. How can we be friends of God? That sounds disrespectful. But Jesus is saying that in the Last Supper. I have called you friends. What are you doing, Jesus? What are you doing? How mysterious. So what is friendship? It's a kind of love that I will say is universal. Why? Because some people don't have a spouse like me. So if Jesus says, I am the bridegroom, I say, okay, it's interesting, but I don't have a spouse, so I cannot relate to good. If Jesus says, I am the brother, some people don't have siblings. If Jesus says, I am father, yeah, some people are orphans. But if he says, I am friend, anybody can relate, because anybody can have a friend. So he's saying, I am using this relationship because it's universal, because it's available to everybody. Not only that, but it's the summit of all relationships. Because between spouses, what is the goal of the wife and the husband? The spiritual goal, that they can become friends. The most loving spouses like to be each other like friends. They choose to be together as friends. They enjoy the time together. And the same with the siblings. Maybe you have experienced that, like there are tensions, there's something, sometimes you like to be with them, some not. There's a moment when the sibling relationship turns into friendship and becomes so free. What is it in friendship that is like the summit of all relationships? Even with your dad, even with your mom, there are moments when you feel, I am so happy to be with my mom because I feel her like my friend. What is happening in those moments? It's like on a horizontal level of freedom. You're at ease with that person. It's no longer the authority, or it's no longer the bond of blood that therefore I have to be with this person right now, but it's a moment that we are choosing to delight in the moment together. We are relaxed, we're at ease. I don't have to do it. So it's like the bond that is given by brotherhood of siblings or by mother and son, whatever. It's not a necessity. In that moment, we are choosing freely to be together. So Jesus is saying, I am calling you friends. I have chosen you to be my friend. And therefore, he's waiting and looking at you with a loving gaze, patient gaze. Would you choose me? And that's why he says, if you embrace my commandments, you will be my friend. Because the quality of friendship is the reciprocity. Friendship is always mutual. It's not one direction, it's both. So, visualize it. The joy that you have in your own personal friendships, apply it to Jesus, and he's asking you, would you be my friend? Would you choose me back so we can be together? And then Jesus says something else. By the way, he says, in the Last Supper, in this moment, the Last Supper is a beautiful moment because it's a heart-to-heart conversation where Jesus opens his heart after dinner. The table heart-to-heart talk. And he says something to them. By the way, I am never alone. I am never alone. Even when I am not with you, when I'm hanging out by myself, when I wake up in the morning at 5 a.m. and I go to the mountain or to the lake, or in the night after my ministry, Jesus says, I am not alone because I am always resting in my Father, he says. I am remaining, he uses a verb, remaining, like chilling, like relaxing with my Father, Abba. I am chilling in the love of my Father. So what he's saying is, I have a friend, my Abba, the Father, is my friend. I am never alone. The book of Genesis, Adam and Eve are created, and Adam was not good to be alone. So therefore, Eve, the communion, what Jesus is saying, I have my friend, and I want you to have my friendship, because it's not good for you to be alone. Last night I was watching a movie. Have you seen Stand By Me? Stand By Me, 1986, a little bit old for some people here. Okay, people more mature here know the movie. Beautiful movie about friendship. It's a movie out of a book of 4 guys. It's in Oregon, in the fields, in a little town in Oregon. There was a boy who died. So maybe 12, 13-year-old kid, a boy who passed away because he was crushed by a train. So the story is based on 4 friends. They are 12, 13, the same age of the guy who died. And they heard about that accident and they want to find the body because the police is not able to find the body. I've been seeking for the body for a long time. And they are like restless, like, we would love to find it. And suddenly one of the kids overhears his older brother saying, I know where the body is. So he goes to his gang, to his 3 other friends, so the 4 of them decided, let's go to find the body. So they decide to go on this adventure. They didn't say mom and dad, or they were going to just disappear. And they go following the train railroad, because that's what the clue was. And the whole movie is 2 days in a row of these guys walking around the railroad, seeking the body. But the conversations that they develop in those 2 days and one night are literally the beauty of friendship of a 12, 13-year-old kid. When they believe they have hearts that are still very so pure, and they love to share how much they value each other and how much they are suffering with different things. The fact that the dad is not affirming the kid, that they don't feel loved because they have the sibling is bullying one of them, or the lack of acceptance of their own gifts. They don't believe in themselves, one of them. So they are struggling by opening the hearts in the value of you being with me. The standing by me becomes beautiful. The one who is describing the whole story is one of the kids, and at the end says, I cannot imagine that there can be a better friendship than the one that you can develop when you are 12, 13 years old. And then he says, Jesus, there's any better friendship than this one? There's something in the heart that maybe you have experienced at that age, between 12, 14, of the purity of your desire of that kind of friendship, where you're not so shielded enough, where you're still like a child, like a boy, like a girl, and you're longing for that pure bond. Jesus today is offering that connection with you. Would you stand by me? Would you be my friend? Because I am always standing by you. So tonight or today or this week, when you go to your different events and your different activities, before entering into an action or an event that is going to be important, wait and think about him, that he's standing by you, and he's going to ask you, choose me. Will you choose my friendship right now? You're about to do this. Would you enter with me? Would you stand by me? Because I am with you. What is it that you need to face this week? Would you stand by me, says Jesus? I am with you.